Egg freezing and in vitro fertilization, two high-tech medical procedures that can literally help create life. But unlike many major surgeries, they aren't always covered by insurance.
So is IVF only for the wealthy? CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey is digging into what's being done and what needs to be done to make starting a family affordable for all.
Penelope Turgeon and her husband met later in life, but wanted a family so badly.
We would both need treatment, and that's when the bills start to add up.
They actually had insurance, but to their complete surprise, because their case involved reversing a vasectomy, none of it was covered.
It was a very, very disappointing moment. We just didn't believe it. We had to call customer service for them to explain.
The cost can range widely, but many couples pay around $22,000 for a single IVF cycle. That is, without insurance.
It's our job to change that. It's a perception that's wrong. Infertility is not only experienced by a subset of the population.
Dr. Jennifer Hirshfeld-Cytron, medical director of the Fertility Centers of Illinois, explains that the cost itself isn't as astronomical as one might think.
If we look at the price tag of other medical subspecialties, it's really not expensive. It's that it's not covered. And that right there is the challenge.
She took us on a tour of her River North office
to assess how they're responding to the medications, so that we can optimize the dosing and get kind of our best results.
Showing us how they make these miracles happen.
You think you're taking like a 3D image and we're like cutting it like this?
And explain that it's the insurance plan.
The devil's in the detail.
And even the state you live in that dictates whether a couple's access to these kinds of miracles is financially possible or completely unaffordable.
Unfortunately, there are some within Illinois that remain under and uninsured.
As of this summer, 21 states, including Illinois, have passed fertility insurance coverage laws. 14 of those laws include some form of IVF coverage. But there are many exceptions. To name a few,
your company must be headquartered out of Illinois. You must have, I believe, somewhere 150 employees.
And currently, there are no states that require coverage for elective egg freezing, the process in which a woman's eggs are extracted and frozen. Those eggs can later be used for IVF.
In the U.S., the median cost for one cycle of egg freezing would be about $12,500.
Jennifer Lannon is the co-founder at Freeze Health, which helps women decide when and where to freeze their eggs. And in recent years, they've been advising some women to grab their passports.
At a global level, for all non-U.S. countries, we find that the median cost is about $7,000 per cycle. But then if we look to more specific countries, in Spain, it goes as low as the median cost is about $4,000 per cycle.
That's right, egg freezing tourism. Lannon says women definitely have to do their homework when it comes to traveling for a medical procedure and figure out a storage plan. But that's something they can help with. They currently have detailed information on egg freezing in more than a dozen different countries. Lannon says that fortunately, over time, U.S. employers have been catching on.
Luckily, we're gradually, year by year, getting more coverage and more access for women, couples, and aspiring families across the U.S.
And here in Chicago, Dr. Hirshfeld-Cytron and some of her colleagues are doing their part too. They started the Chicago Coalition for Family Building, which provides fully funded IVF cycles donated by their partner practices. They also provide some financial grants for surrogacy and adoption.
To try to identify those that we would have our greatest opportunity to help.
Remember Penelope? Even though she thought her dream of a family had slipped away, she applied for a grant and...
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Are you waiting to find out?
No, we know it's a boy.
Oh, yay, very exciting.
Just a few days after our interview, Penelope and her husband welcomed baby Gideon into the world. And for this beautiful reason, she encourages others in her shoes to keep fighting.
There's always a bunch of curveballs. I understand that it can be difficult, but yeah, don't give up. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
For more information on the Chicago Coalition for Family Building and one of their biggest fundraisers coming up on September 24th, head to our website and click this story. Megan Hickey for the CBS 2 Investigators.